They're trying it again. Illustrations by me. So ARRTX got in touch with me and they said, hey, we want to send you some more markers, more paint markers. This is the third round of paint markers from ARRTX that I've received. They rounded it out. That's what happened on this one. So you remember the first ones. Come over here, I'm gonna show you something. So these are the first ones that they sent to me. Actually, this one in particular, I liked them so much, I went and bought a set of black and white ones because I used them so much. But these are the regular felt pens, yeah, felt tip pens. There's no pump on the front or the back. You can't pump them. This is what it is. It's just like that. Now, you know, these are the ones I loved. Like I said, I bought another pack just of black and white because I use them so much. But I use these on everything. I use them on wood and stone and all sorts of things, and I absolutely love them. When they sent them to me, it was a great job that they did here. They did not say this, but I am led to believe by other things I've looked up online, and I could be entirely off. Do not listen to me. Never listen to a thing I say. It could be that these pens here with no pump, that for whatever reason there's less paint in them because of, and they feel light. This is a full one. It feels extremely light. You don't shake it. There's no roller in there or anything, no little pebble in there. You can't shake it up and mix it. So some people have said, oh yeah, there's a less paint in here, or it's a different mixture or something like that. I found they work great on a lot of things. Then they sent me the second type of pen. I'll show you that one. You remember these. These are the Simp Tap markers, and these have a nice tip. The tip is really nice. The problem is you pump them from the back, and sometimes when you're pumping them, the paint comes out of here and just kind of sits there. So as you're going, sometimes even more comes out and drops on the page. And I was not a fan of these. These were definitely not something that I enjoyed. But it doesn't mean I didn't use them. I don't think they took very well to the wood and the rocket. The wood especially, it would sink into the wood and kind of dull the image a little bit, or dull the paint a little bit. So I was not a fan of these, and I let them know that. Now, they have sent me their rounded out version here. So let me show you these here. I'm gonna pop this open. I've already swatched these out. You didn't see it yet. You will. You're going to see it here in a second. I'm swatching them out. I have a set of 48 here. And hear this out. They're going to send a set of 36 to one of you. So this is a giveaway video. This is late. I know. I'm sorry it's late. Don't worry about that. But it's the March giveaway. So luckily you're seeing this in March, but then when you get the giveaway, it'll be 8. But don't worry about that. Anyway, these are going to be, I'm going to do the 48 swatch out and show them and paint them, but you're going to get a set of 36 from them. That was very nice of them. So what I'm going to do is, I'm in the drawing part. When I do the drawing and I do the commentary on it, I'm going to find out from them what the region is that they're doing the giveaway. So make sure you watch I'll put it right in the beginning of the drawing so you can see, hey, this is where they're going to do the giveaway. And if you're in that area, you go ahead and send in the information, and then we'll go ahead and send you, well, I'll pick the winner next week. I'm going to pick the winner on Friday, this week, not next week, this week on Friday. I'll pick the winner. Saturday, you'll see the video on Saturday announcing who the winner is. You'll confirm. I'll send them your information. They'll send you a set of 36. So make sure you watch the beginning of that video, the drawing, to find out what location, if you're in, that you can enter this, okay? Okay, so, and all you do is go down below. If you can follow their Instagram, they did request it. It's not mandatory. They said, please, if you could ask people to follow our Instagram, we would appreciate it. It's not required. So because that's a wonderfully generous request that they're going to send you something and they're not demanding anything from you, if you wouldn't mind, go just follow them on Instagram. If that's something you do, if you have Instagram, just check them out. They're always doing something new, and I did mention that gel pen. That was one of my favorite gel pens I've ever used. It's my current favorite gel pen. It's from them. But I think you can only get it when you buy a different set, but that's okay. The other markers you can get from you find out all the stuff they're doing. Anyway, let's get it. I want to show you this thing here. So to round it out, first of all, it's clear. So that's good. In the back you see but right in the front there, you see it's clear. And you're gonna see when I do the swatch, I'm gonna show you how quick this fills up with paint. I think one of the last colors I do, I set it off to the side and I just pump the thing on the camera so you can see how quickly that gets down to the edge. Very quick, that pump is quick. And it's very tight, and you can see all the paint in here, and you can see how it's back from the tip. So it's, yes, when you pump it, it comes through the tip, but it doesn't go through this little plastic piece right here. It kind of sits back and just flows through the tip. Now, that's a nice thing. I think that's a nice feature. It does work pretty quick, and it doesn't drip. I've not had any drips. It also stays very, very wet. This is a very wet tip pen, so once it starts flowing, you start drawing with it, it's very wet. You don't have to worry about, is it gonna cover? Matter of fact, you'll see when I do the swatch, watch, and at the very end, I'll do the white because I put a black line down. I wanted it to dry. So I do all the colors and then I go back to the white, the first one I do, or the last one I do, but the first one on the page. And you'll see that I'll put that white down, it'll cover. It's really good. It actually covers very well. So if you're into painting, paint markers that cover very well, some don't. You know, sometimes we go over, I think the last batch that I had, Woomer, great pens as well, but that white just blended out the black. It didn't cover the black. This will cover it. Now, be careful. You're gonna see, I'm gonna talk to you more about this. Oh, they did send in the box, there's also these little extra nibs. So if you wear out a nib, you just replace it. There's 5 of them in here. And they come in the end. Look, do you see the number on there? They put it on there. I didn't have to do it. So that was my big complaint with the first set. The ones that I really like, when I first got them, I had to put my own, oh yeah, see, this doesn't have a number on it. It probably came in the box and I didn't put it on there. So if you remember, I had to put my own number on the back there because it didn't come on it, just like this one doesn't have it on it. And that's a new one I just bought. But these all, no, they're not that one. The SimTap had the numbers on them, and these have the numbers on them. So I don't want to have to put my own labels on there because I will mix them up. So when I looked at these, and there's one, you'll see, it has a parentheses on it, and I had to put a different number because it says on the box 685, but on the pen it says 885, maybe it says 665, and it just looks, maybe it looks strange because of the way that the numbers are. They're just a little close together, but I thought it said 885 and this says 685. Don't worry about it. I wrote it on there either way. It's fine. You'll see what color it is. I'm gonna go through the swatching, let you know my opinion on the colors that are in this set, and then we'll see where we go from there. We'll get into the drawing. All right, I'm gonna go through this pretty quick. So what I wanted to point out was that, and you'll hear me repeat myself multiple times in the video, I'm sure you will, but when I look at these colors here, as I'm swatching them out, I see they did a good job with the yellows. There's not too many of them, that's good. Sometimes you see way too many yellows, I don't like that. They have kind of a warm yellow, kind of a middle yellow almost, and then an earth yellow, which is nice. I like that about it. The other thing is you have some purples and pinks, but you really have, so you can do florals. You can do florals with this. If you're a floral artist, that's what you do. Absolutely, you can paint this. But I think, in my opinion, this is almost like a landscape set. And let me tell you why. So you have the oranges and yellows and things, make a nice sunset. You have the blues to make moody colors, skies. You can do that. You can make a bright blue sky. You have the white, which works very well if you want to put in the clouds after. You have greens. The greens are great. There's a ton of different greens. Now, I'm not going to use many of them. There's one that I absolutely love. You'll see me point it out here in a minute. But the colors work. The thing that I really love are all the earth colors. There's a lot of earth colors here. There's a lot of muted colors here. It's a great palette for a set of pens. Now, I know that some of you will say, yeah, but it's not the soft one. It has that pump in the front. It worked well for me. Here, I'll get into the drawing part, what happened there. So you'll get into that here in a second. But I just wanted to let you know while I'm swatching this out, there's a decent colors. They did put a couple of fluorescent colors in there. I wouldn't recommend highlighting anything with those fluorescent colors because it is the felt tip, the hard tip. So it will scratch a page of a book or something like that. If you have your favorite book, you're going to highlight something, you'll probably scratch it. I wouldn't use that necessarily for that. But not to say you can't find another way to use a fluorescent. Some people like to use them for accents and things like that, just like the gold and the silver, which I will not use, is not for me. But I understand some other people may use it. The other colors in there, everything works pretty well, and I'll show you here in the drawing. Okay, so now we saw the swatch out. I just want to go through some of the color palettes from all three sets and see what they did here with these. So the first set that I received was the 60. It was the 60A set. That's the one that I received. And there are, I complained because there's a lot of pale colors, a lot of pink colors, there's a lot of purple colors, things that I didn't necessarily wasn't going to use. The greens are not greens that I would use, but these blues are absolutely beautiful. The blues into the grays, absolutely beautiful colors. There's only one true red on this whole page. The rest of them were kind of like a weird orangey red color, and they didn't cover very well. These are the first set. That's the one, these right here, these foam right here, which I absolutely do love these. They didn't cover as well on the paper anyway. Okay, now let's look at the other set. Where's the other set? Here it is. So this is the Simp Tap markers. And I said, well, I like that they didn't overdo the yellows. I like that they had a lot of blues. Of course, these are the colors I use. The greens, again, not my favorite, but you know, some of them I could definitely use. They're fine. Less purples, less greens, and I know there's a smaller set. It's 48 instead of 60. These, again, these colors, beautiful. So, and there's a lot of muted colors. That's what I like. That's my kind of palette, is muted colors. And again, did not cover that as well. That marker just kind of moved around that black area. It covered it, but it's opaque, but you can still see the line underneath. Now let's look at these. So I was mentioning when I did this that there are a lot of purples and pinks. Not my palette, that's not what but if you're a floral artist, that's what you like, and I've already repeated myself. But the blues are nice, there's a lot of greens, most of which I will not use. That's my favorite green right there. Some more muted tones and earthy tones, a lot of earthy tones in this one, which I like, and the white covered. That's the key, the white covered. So these are a lot more covering versus the other ones. I don't know if they're a new formula of paint, but they cover much better than the other markers did. Okay, here we go with the drawing. Now, I thought these were going to be good on paper. I actually started another drawing on paper. It's not the fault of the markers. They were very wet. If I had a light touch, I could probably draw on the paper, but I went to put it on the paper and wrecked it. I have such a heavy hand when I draw, when I paint. So I'm pushing on the page, trying to fill it in, and I scratched the page, and I said, you know what? Let me do this some justice and put it on something a little different. So I went ahead with a clay board. Now, so as I get started with this, I wanted you to know, where can you say, hey, I would like the free set, and you're gonna put it down there in the comments and say, I would like the free set, but you need to be in the US, Canada, or the UK. There's 3 places. Canada, you're in this one. UK, you're in this one. And the US is usually in them because that's where I am and that's where they usually send them to. So US, Canada, UK, if that's where you are, let me know and we'll look and enter you into this giveaway. I'll pick the winner Friday, put the video up on Saturday. Everyone will see who won. Wonderful, that's one. And then as soon as you verify, I'll send them the information. I probably already said this 10 times in this video. I'm saying it again just so you know where you are. This is an older clay board, but clay board's clay board. It's very absorbent. So it causes streaking sometimes because you'll have a section that absorbs very quickly and then another section that doesn't absorb very quick. But it's okay. Everything worked fine here, and like I've said many times before, the streakiness I enjoy. When I did the swatch out, nothing streaked. Everything was fine. That was on paper too, but it was just a couple back and forths, and I tried not to go over the same area twice so there was no scratching of the page. But when I did the clay board and I started filling in the areas, I was going over the same area. Sometimes the clay board, it just sucks in and starts to dry immediately. So as soon as it started to dry, it'd go over the second spot again and it would scrape it off a little bit. And that's what clay board's for. So I eventually figured out how to get it done the way that I wanted. Towards the end of the painting and the drawing, you'll see that I forgot to shake the marker again. I'm not used to, because of the ones that I use that you don't shake, I'm not used to shaking it as much. So I went to put it down. I was like, oh, that's not exactly mixed properly. So I had to shake it and then put it back down. Everything was fine after that. They work well. They work just like any other hard felt tip, but they have a little bit more ink flow, a little bit more paint flow. So if you like that, then they're a little bit more opaque in general. You'll see as I go along the edge of another color with one color, it covers right over it. It doesn't even, not even hesitate to cover over. They're very opaque. So the formula on these may be different than that, or maybe just the application of the paint goes on different, whatever the case is. But it's very, very wet. It works very well. And when you go on, it covers very well. So I wouldn't hesitate at all trying to put this on rocks or wood or something like that. As a matter of fact, that's what I'm going to use it for. I'm going to use to paint on rocks and wood. That's what I'm going to use it for. But that's what I would suggest most people would use it for, not so much the clay board. I just had that little piece of clay board laying around, and I remember the Thule art ones that I did a while back, a couple of years back probably. I did them on the clay board, so I knew how they were acting, and they're a push, front push also. So I was going to, let me see if these will act the same way. Absolutely no problem. They were more wet. There was more paint coming out, and they were definitely more opaque. So I absolutely love them. I think they're great. Someone is going to ask about some Lightfast information, and I have no idea. They do say that the permanence is very good. That's what they've said. But I don't know what that means, because it depends on what kind of art language you're talking. Because Sharpie says it's a permanent pen too, but they mean that you can't rub it off, because it's obviously not very light fast. A Sharpie, you die out in the sun real quick. So you wouldn't do that. But these are, they say that they're more permanent, or the paint is very permanent. So I'm guessing they're saying, hey, these you can paint on a rock, you can paint on something. You can do crafts on them. They're designed to paint on different things, glass and wood and stone and that kind of stuff. Usually you think, yeah, I'm going to put this on something, you're not going to have it fade right away. It's designed for crafts. It's designed for those things to be done. Put artwork on something other than a piece of paper. And so that's what I'm going to do with them. We'll see how they go in the future. I'll probably put them on a couple of videos down the line as well to try and use them and show you a little bit of different things when I do. I do still have, let me get this here. I do still have these rocks, these little round rocks here. And I'm going to paint on some of these in an episode eventually. I should have done it in this one. I did not, because I wanted to see how it performed on something, a bigger piece, and not just a tiny rock, and how it, anyway, I wanted to show you a little bit more. Also, the color palette worked well. I tried to use as many colors as I possibly can. You can probably see it. It's up on the shelf over there. Anyway, I tried to use as many colors as I possibly could out of the set, so the color don't actually mesh on the piece. That's fine. It doesn't matter to me. But for the most part, when you put the colors together, they're cohesive. They don't look bad together. So especially the way that I did it with this drawing, and then I went around with the black pen. I started with a different black pen that does not sit on top of the paint very well. So it's acrylic paint, so it dries as plastic. That's what acrylic paint is. So sometimes when you when you go to draw on top of the plastic, certain things don't go on top of it. So I had to use a different one, and then that one worked fine, and I put in all the details like I normally do, like I always do, and it turned out fine. I really like how it ended up. So if that tells you anything, I hope it does. If it doesn't, well, then you could ask me some questions, and I'll tell you, fill in the blanks exactly where you need them. So, and just to say, if you've never used clayboard before, you should try it. Clayboard's very fun, because it does absorb very quickly. So I like to do watercolor on clayboard. Now it's very smooth. It's like slick as anything. I think they make an aqua board also that has a little bumps in it, a little texture to it. But I like the clay board. It works great. You can swipe across. It sucks in the moisture right away, dries instantly. So if you want to put something over it or whatever, it's very interesting product to use. And if you want to add highlights on a clay board, you get a little scraper and you scrape out the highlights. You can scrape right on the board and it just brings the white back. So, and if you do a mistake, you're doing something and you make a mistake, if you're doing something very specific, like a portrait, or you're doing an actual object, not like me. I was doing abstract stuff, but if you do an actual object and you want to put in that I missed that line, went over a little bit, just a little scrape, you clean it right up. It's nice. It is nice to work on. And that's what it's all about. It's all about creating something, having fun, easy, wonderful. It doesn't always have to be easy. Matter of fact, I like the challenge sometimes, but these were great. These were fine. Nothing else that I can say about them that I have not said already. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it shows you a little bit of what you can do with these. They're great. Just like these people popping up on the screen here. They're great, and I appreciate them very much. So thumb up the video if you are going to at least try and take a look at these and maybe say, hey, if I'm in the market for an acrylic pen, this is a great deal. I'm going this way and we'll try them out. All right, now you can watch these screw ups. But I had to put my own numbers on there to, the cap just fell off. Snap the cap on, that's on me. Okay. So, that's nice to see. I don't want to have to label my own ones because I'll mess them up. Now, did I say mix them up? It's mix them, I'll mess them up. You know what I mean. Make sure you let me know if you want them, if you want to be in. Did I tell you where they are? I didn't tell you where they are. So as I get going here, I wanted to let you know where these are available. They are available in the US, Canada, no. So as I get started here, I just wanted to let you know where this is open to. Where can you say, hey, I want those. Put it down at those. If you would like to join our community, go to illustrationsbypete.com. You can come in, you can put your own artwork on the site and promote it. You can find some inspiration in the free reference photos. You can just use them however you want in your artwork. You do not need to credit me. Or you can come into the forums and talk to some people and maybe give some advice and maybe find a little bit of information that helps you. So come check us out. All right, that's about it for me. I'm going to go. I'll see you in the next one.